Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today I have two of Front Royal's finest officers, the Chief Kahle Magalis. Did I say that right?
You did very well that time, Mike.
I did
Very good.
And Captain Cline. So they're here today. They're going to talk to us about a new program that's come aboard. It's called the Guardian. It's our Guardian Score. Guardian Score. Basically, it's a little survey type thing that they hand out these unique little business cards whenever you have an interaction with a police officer. He'll give you this particular card, and then you click on the QR code and et cetera, et cetera. So who wants to tell me about the program first so we'll have an idea what it's...
Go for
it. I've got the survey pulled up here on the phone, so we're going to go through it.
We're going to go through it live, and Mike's going to actually rate my performance today on his card. He's got me up.
It'll be under other. Okay, go on.
So Guardian Score, just to tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll let Captain Cline kind of fill in the details. So Guardian Score, it's an initiative that was kind of brought to our attention. We're not the first ones to do it, but we're among the first in the state. I think there are 4 other agencies throughout the state that are doing a pilot program for this. Mm-hmm. It's a brand new initiative. And what the intention of it is to kind of promote and engage procedural justice, not to be confused with social justice.
Sure.
And we'll kind of get into what procedural justice is a little bit. So, but this card will be handed. The front of it is just like our typical business cards.
Right.
It has the officer's name and badge number and
so
all
each
of the
card is unique to the person handing it out.
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. So
and the QR code is unique.
Is unique to every single card.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So all of my cards the front of them will look exactly the same.
So when you do get the results of this survey, you'll know that you can believe it.
Right. It's good data.
Yeah, right. Good.
Because the cards are designed. The QR code can only be used one time.
That's pretty clever.
So each card you can access the survey one time.
No 10 votes per.
That's
phone
right.
call.
Yeah. You can't pad your stats.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No AGT. Right.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's basically designed. It's something that we utilize to make sure to promote the fact that we're a legitimate, transparent agency. That we're passing out. You can rate one of the things on the website, the Guardian Score website, you can rate your Uber driver, but you can't rate your police officer. So that's what this is kind of out to change, right?
Well, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Especially if the officers will hand them out at every occasion.
Right.
Well, I don't think I'll hand out one this time. I mean,
no, they'll be handed out every traffic stop,
Sure.
call for service, interaction on the street.
You'll know right off when you don't get any surveys back from Officer Seal.
It's
of course,
all.
he's in the sheriff's department.
It's all.
so you won't
but
get
we have an officer seal as well.
We have an
Yeah,
officer seal as well.
But one of the things about this is, like, all day long we can sit there and say our community loves us,
Sure.
our state loves us,
Sure.
Mike McCool loves us.
Well.
But what we can't do is we can't measure that.
Right.
Someone can say, well, how do you know that the community loves you? It's
Right.
because we get donuts sometimes,
That's right. And blue
Right?
light
And
bulbs screwed
coffee.
in our porch.
That's right. That's right.
But what this does is it gives you a measurement of how we're doing.
Right.
So this card, this QR code is specific to Chief Magalis. Like, anything that you answer from this QR code is all about his performance and how
Okay.
he treated you. It's
Right.
not why
And he doesn't have any
touched
access
you.
to it all goes back to the Guardian Score, so you can't go in and delete. Oh, that's
Right.
a bad one.
It's
I'm
all
gonna delete it.
it's
No,
all
no.
anonymous.
It
The
is
survey
anonymous.
takes about a minute or so.
Okay.
It's very short, brief, to the point. It's not designed to measure whether or not you like me as a person.
Right.
It's designed to measure whether you felt like you were treated fairly, whether I listened to you, if I told you about the outcomes. Hey, listen, this is a summons. Sign here. This is not an admission to guilt. It's just a promise that you're going to provide.
Right.
So it's just basically rating the fact that I've interacted with you and done a
Procedures.
complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all procedures.
Follow the
it's all
rules,
procedures.
follow the procedures. Yeah.
Right.
So how are you going to use this tool?
Well, honestly, for me, I'm hoping to be able to use it as a bragging post because I feel like
right.
I feel like I'm pretty confident that our officers do a good job of this. This gives me a way to prove it.
But if you get 3 or 4 dozen something that's not really up to snuff, you can go in then and tweak that arrangement, or even if you get a whole lot of good ones, you can go in and give a little pat on the back, say, way to go. Good.
Well, it gives you an idea, and it's not designed, I mean, because not every one of these that someone fills out is going to be positive.
Right.
I mean, if I write you a ticket, well, perhaps you feel like I treated you fairly and did that, but you might just
still
be
don't like the ticket, right?
so angry, right? But, well, and that may color some people's opinion on how things are done, where, you know, they might...
You can read between the lines.
Right,
Exactly.
but the questions aren't set up that way. So
They're not.
no one likes getting a speeding ticket, but the fact of the matter is a lot of people do get speeding tickets and are pulled over, but it's not really about the outcome of, oh, darn, I got a speeding ticket. It's more like, did the officer approach me, you know, in a friendly manner?
Sure.
Did he listen to me as to why I was speeding?
Okay.
What was he in the right place, and you know, was I the person that should have been pulled over?
Okay.
It's kind of geared towards our
Yeah.
performance on it, not
Right.
on
Well,
getting a
I
speeding
hit the
ticket.
QR code,
Yep.
and the first thing it asks you the date, so of the
Yep.
thing, so that come in, didn't ask me my name or anything. They don't.
Right.
And then so, what type of interaction did you have? It had A, witness; B, I was a victim of a crime; C, I was arrested by this officer. I think D, the officer made contact with me on the street. E, I was pulled over for a traffic violation, or F, other. I guess in this case it'll have to be another, and let's see what happens. All right. How well did the officer explain their intentions and the reason for your encounter? 1 star indicates a negative rating. 5 stars indicates an excellent rating. Well, so far you've done a great job, so we'll give you.
Well, thank you, Mike.
All right. So
Nicely
how
done.
how would you rate the officer's listening skills? 1 star indicates a negative. 5 star, that's pretty good. I mean, these are things you really are important to know. Okay. How fairly did you feel you were treated by the officer? Oh, well, okay. He was okay. And then
He's really doing well here.
how would you rate the officer's overall level of professionalism? Other than he looks a little scruffy on the beard, he's got an explanation for
He's
that.
cutting you no slack.
I know he's not.
I got to have something to mark that. Oh, how well did the officer explain ways to resolve or follow up on your issue? A summons, a court date, victim services, detective referrals, etc. All right. So this is good to know. So all the questions are the same.
Yes.
Okay. So what is your age? Oh my gosh, they even got old.
You don't have to say it out loud.
Okay.
Mike. You can just put it in there.
What is your gender?
29 to 39.
Yeah, that's pretty broad. And what is your race? So I guess they're collecting some identity here. And what is your ethnicity? Oh, then you have a comment for an additional comments.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can type in some things if you want to.
Good, bad.
And it says, I
Indifferent.
acknowledge this survey is not a formal complaint or request for follow-up from the Front Royal Police Department. So they're not going to call you up and check on this
It's
thing.
completely anonymous.
Right.
Yeah, we couldn't if we
Thank you.
tried.
And you can find, if you'd like to follow up or contact, go to thefrontworld.va.com. There you
So
go.
how long did that take you?
Oh, what? I don't know, a minute or two, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
it's-
not
it's-
long at all.
No.
It's very
And
simple.
it does give you the opportunity that, I can really write something out if I want to vent.
Absolutely.
Or say
Yeah.
something great.
Well, and it's not meant to take the place of our complaint process.
Right.
I mean, if a person has a complaint, they've still got the ability to come in, file a formal complaint, and it's
Well,
then
I really
investigated.
like the days when J.D. Stryker was on the force before he passed, and he would come by at 3 o'clock in the morning and stick his business
Stick his
card in
business
my
cards
front
in the
door.
doors. Yeah.
And you know what? I
Business
looked at
watch.
that and I thought, not that something could have happened at 3:05,
Sure.
but at least I knew that they were coming by, taking a look. I felt that the police department's doing a great job, So
sure.
those are little things, and and do the officers talk to you when they're walking down the sidewalk instead of look like, I won't say who, but go down the road and just growl at you, and then they're 7 feet tall and got a dog. I mean, we want to. Anyway,
I
but
hope no
those-
one's growling at
No,
you.
he's a great guy. But sometimes people are intimidated by the police,
Sure.
Yeah, they are.
And I think this is a good thing.
Sure. Yeah, and it's designed to just gauge. It gives us as administrators, as far as a tool for us.
Right.
It gives us another metric rather than just how many tickets you wrote or
Right.
how many traffic stops you made. It's the quality of time that you spend with the people that you're answering those calls for or making those traffic stops with, and ensuring that we're doing a good job of communicating with the public.
Right.
That's really what this is all
We
about.
get a lot of surveys, but this one didn't take very long. It just took a minute. So,
Right.
And
So
I think
this is
I
sort
think it
of
gives
like
you
that.
some good feedback. Even the person filling it out is going to get.
Right.
Is
But
gonna
you know
get
what
some
this
feedback.
over a survey. We can mail surveys out in like the electric bill and
we
stuff
thought
like
about that.
But here's the thing: it's a little bit skewed because who's going to return those? The ones that have family that's law enforcement, maybe have never been pulled over. These are encounters with the cops. Whether you're a victim, you're a witness, you're the offender. It doesn't matter who you are. You actually had some kind of contact with police to actually. It's legitimate that you're the one that's rating us.
Right.
So,
and it evolves because we're going to be handing these out every day.
Yes.
And
how long is this project going to go on, do you think?
So we're involved in a 120-day pilot program.
Okay.
So I think we're going to go live with it next week. Okay. We just got our cards in, so we've been playing with them like this, and these will all be reset.
So they all look good,
Well,
not really.
Or they're really all naked, just to see how they look.
Yeah, no, we've been playing with it. And the officers are rating each other.
Sure.
You can imagine what some of those comments look like when they're
But I do
poking
want to
fun
point
at each other.
on some of the comments, you can have a free text and you can write the comment. So this is fully anonymous. There is a delay on when the officer can then log into the web page on what those comments are. So you can't say, okay, I handed this out. I'm pretty sure they're going to be negative or maybe even positive. I want to see what they said. They cannot log in on that day and they won't see that. It'll come through several days later.
Okay, that's good.
So there's a waiting
lag.
so that it is fully anonymous that they don't know.
Keeps the anonymity top of mind.
And you have no input or control over it, so it's all done by this group that has all the whatever data they did collect.
And we see it all. We see it all. And the officer can see all of their information as well.
That's good thing. That's good.
And then we set it up so the sergeants have their whole shift, so they can go through there and say their whole shift. Everybody's given out 100 cards, and then you see one of their officers that have only maybe given 10.
Right.
Well, then they can kind of talk to them. Hey, the expectation is this. Let's do the program.
Right.
They can also look to say, hey, overall they're 5 out of 5 on all days, but this one day, what is going on? They can kind of just monitor, see what is going on for their whole shift.
It's just another tool. In your vest there.
Yeah.
That's actually a measurement.
It really is. It's a great
Well, you know what they say, if you can't measure it, it's nothing but a wish.
Right.
That's right.
There's no goals if you can't measure them. So.
And that's what's it's like Capt. Cline said when we first started. It's easy to look at the number of tickets. It's easy to look at the number of arrests. It's easy to look at the number of warrants served.
Sure.
But the interactions that the officers have, how do you judge that?
Yeah,
so this is another metric to be able to assist.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're going to have anomalies. I mean, you're going to have some people that are just, they're not going to be happy with anything, and they're going to write you.
I know it's going to happen. He's going to get one of those things and there's a real negative, and he's going to say, pull up that body cam of Officer Cline there, and we'll see what.
Well, so you're looking for trends,
Yeah, and then, when you start looking at numbers. Large numbers and a lot of things. Trends do percolate to the top there when you're doing.
Well, and you'll notice if you have a problem. Maybe there's an officer that is not spending enough time, and you'll see that, and But it's not just a one encounter. It's several encounters.
Right.
But so it would give you an idea if I do have a problem that we need to correct with an officer. Maybe some more training or something like that. So.
It's great.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about this. I think it's a fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic tool for us. I think it's going to be a great partnership with the community when we're handing these out, because they're going to have a voice, and again, we hear back the people that are really upset, and we hear from the people that are really happy with us. But this gives just everyday interactions and ability to make because it takes no time at all to really get a good measure of how we're doing. It's a customer service tool.
Right.
So
another thing coming up real soon too is that Coffee with a Cop.
Yes, sir. October 5th. We're going to do it from 8 to 10 in the morning at Daily Grind on Main Street.
Right.
We're going to have some cops there. Hopefully a lot of our community members will come out. Maybe they'll have some comments on this program, and any other questions or concerns that they have, we're going to be there.
I think that's a good idea. It all goes back to that community policing thing. The sheriff's really working on it hard. You've been working on it. And that's really what policing is about. I mean, you can't, if people say, well, what do we pay them for? I said, the police can't do this. If the public didn't participate, you would never catch a bad guy.
We
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
get far. Nope,
That's kind of a
correct.
broad statement, but you know what I mean on that. And really, it requires it.
It does take a community.
It does take a community to know that, because Aunt Martha sitting in her living room. She watches that neighborhood. It goes back to like Neighborhood Watch and all these other kind of programs we've done over the years.
Yeah.
But it's important that people, the old, what is it now? You see something, say something.
Sure.
And you got to just drive all these cliches home because they work.
Yeah.
They do work, and it's
do.
good. It's okay, to call the police if you think something's wrong. They'd rather you call and it be nothing,
Absolutely.
than you wish you would have called.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. They're like, "Oh, I just don't want to bother the police." Well, that's what we're there
That's what we're there
for.
for.
We want.
We're just sitting around eating donuts, so call them up.
We're open,
I do like some donuts though.
We're open 24/7, 365. So
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what we're there for.
It's great, and I think you're doing a great job. I think I haven't heard any negatives here in the last.
Every once in a
period.
while, and we take them seriously.
Yeah.
We look into it.
Right. Yeah. And this is just another metric for us to be
Well,
able
I think
to
so
utilize.
good. Of course, we visit the eating establishments in our community, and I see your officers in and out of there, and they all come across as the straight shooters and following the
I
procedures.
saw you this morning.
Yes, that's
You
right.
were eating breakfast.
And I won't say. Anyway, yes, she was. She had those. Look at this. What she weigh? Like $1.25. And she's out eating that biscuits and gravy, and oh my,
I had to start the morning out right.
Understandable.
it's great.
I should have
looked
had
at
my
it.
cards with me.
That's right. I looked at it and gained 10 pounds, and she's just scarfing it up there, like it's nothing. That's great. But she works it off. She's
I work
it's
hard.
a lot of activity at the police department.
Yeah.
And then she burned rubber going out of the parking lot. She's
I
in a
did
hurry.
not.
Give me your card.
That's right. He's going to have to rate your driving performance.
But it's great. Chief, I really appreciate you guys coming
absolutely.
in. Let's not forget about the Coffee with a Cop. That's on October
5th.
5th. At what time?
From 8 to 10 in the morning.
Okay. That's down at the Daily Grind on Main Street. So
Yep.
maybe you'll be sitting outside and on the table maybe. It'd be
Ooh, I
great.
hope it's good.
Yeah,
weather.
good weather.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. It's a good program. I think, again, it's another environment where you can feel a little more comfortable. And again, you're going to have a certain select part of our community that come out to those
Sure.
things. But you've had the National Night Out. You've had the Coffee with a Cop. You've had the cards. I mean, your door's open.
Yep.
And
And that's what this is. It's just another open door.
Yeah.
It's just another open door for us,
well,
for-
we appreciate everything.
I
That,
would like to ask you to, there's a survey on the back
Yeah.
to see how we did today. So,
I just answered that.
Crystal Cline, that's
you
Chief
mean answer
McGee.
Yeah,
yours?
that one's mine. She wants you to answer
Oh,
hers.
okay.
So, it was an
But she
absolute
can't
pleasure
log
to
in.
talk to
But
you.
she can't log in and
That's right.
for a couple of days
There's
to
a delay.
see what.
See how
She
she
said,
treated you.
"Well, I'm not passing out any other cards till I read it."
That's right.
Again, Crystal, thanks a lot, Kahle. Appreciate everything
you.
you guys
Absolutely.
do. Say hi to all the guys at the office, and
Sure
we
will.
appreciate their service too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And maybe Strides will bring you some donuts. Their donuts are good, aren't
Oh,
they?
yes, they
They
are.
Oh, they weigh like 3 pounds a
They
piece.
do. I can eat like half at a time, half for breakfast, half for lunch.
Yeah,
They're
my
so
gosh,
good.
they
They're
are
so good.
tasty.
That's a great thing. And again,
Yeah.
thanks again. Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.